Welcome to the live stream, everybody. Good to see everybody here. Tonight, I'm going to need a moderator. So who wants to moderate tonight? Who is a member? D-Stew, I'm going to make you a moderator, my friend. Hopefully that's okay with you. And let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Give me a big thumbs up. And we'll go from there. So you are a moderator now, D-Stew, and take care of business if you would, my friend. Thank you so much. Hope everybody's doing great where you're watching from. Sarah is actually spending some time with family today. She's with her family. So she is not going to be moderated tonight. That's why we got D-Stew stepping in to help out. So D-Stew, really appreciate that. How's everybody doing tonight? Before I get going into the target imagery that we're going to cover, I just want to know how everybody's doing. So we got Cameron, Immoss, Italian, Donald Hopper, Leona Harardi is here. Good to see everybody. Love having everybody in the house. Very good. Let's see. Okay, cool. Everybody's, we have thumbs up. Sounds like it is working great. That is good to hear. Welcome to the live stream. And I'm going to monitor myself tonight, just making sure the screen shares are working good. Good to see everybody in the house. Mad Max. Yes, I appreciate that, Sergeant Major. Thanks for that. Sergeant Major Dennis Hawkins. Thank you, my friend. That means a lot having you here. We got Indy, Cozy, Italian Eddie, all the usual suspects in the house. So glad to have everybody here. I got a lot to cover tonight, but I'm gonna dive in straight away into some target imagery. And that just really is to get us all on the same page with exactly what is happening right now. So here we go. We're gonna dive right in. Share correctly. So boom. Yep, it's looking good on my end so far. It's stuck again. Come on, screen share. The thing is, once we get going, it works fine. Okay. Should be good to go, but I'm going to wait. I'll talk to everybody. All right. Everybody says it's a little better now. We got Tony, JSF guy, Roselle, artificial user, James, good now, and we're back. But I'm going to wait till we can actually see the Google Earth background imagery. That's the most important thing. We got to be able to see that. So once we see the Google Earth background imagery, we will go from there. So we got Carlos, JJ Need. Good to see you in the house. JSF guy, Skyfrog. If you're a member of the channel, go ahead and throw your questions out there, and I will do my best to answer them. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot of buffering and frozen comments, but it's looking good so far on my end. So it could be on your end as well. It might be a little bit different. So I'm seeing Google Earth is up. Man. All right, cool. Wow. So you said you switched it to VPN mode and it's good, huh? Interesting. All right, let's see. Okay, nice. I'm showing Google Earth is up and running. So here we go, my friends. All right. So when you look at the different location targeting packages that we're thinking of, targeting packages that have been hit so far, ultimately at the end of the day, it really comes down to what is the objective, right? So when you're building targeting package specifically for places like Iran, really you just want to make sure that you're being very comprehensive in what the target package of the air tasking order is going to have in it. Air tasking order is something that's built, and it gives everybody an idea from the different weapon systems on what they're actually going to be hitting. So let's just take, for example, some of the coastal areas. We've hit on these before, but I really want to hone in on a couple different ones that I've found lately that, you know, we've got special forces in the region. We've got obviously B-52s. You guys saw my video today, hopefully, on the B-52. Just such a beautiful aircraft. Doesn't get much better than that. And so when I think about the B-52 and what it's doing, preparing the battlefield comes to mind for me. And like places like this, excuse me, this looks a little bit like a military base type infrastructure, but ultimately it's going to come down to what are the objectives? What is the whole goal? Preparing the battlefield is one of the biggest things to think about, because when it comes to the special forces operators that will be on the ground, a lot of that has to do with the objective of what brings them into whatever region they're in, right? So if they're in a region where, let's just say they need a lot of air cover, a lot of air support, which is, you know, obviously that's kind of one of the main go-tos when it comes to special operations, is they dovetail really nice with fighter aircraft, bomber aircraft, and objectives are very well suited. It's like hand in glove type operation. That's something that I mentioned today. So ultimately, when it comes to the hand in glove type operation, you really got to think about, okay, if you're a fighter pilot and you're preparing the battlefield, or you're a bomber pilot preparing the battlefield, what is going to be the most important part of that whole operation? Well, a lot of it comes down to anti-drones or drone denial, making sure that the special operators are not in a position where they're going to be sitting ducks to drones. And the people that are running the show, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, like, these guys are not slouches. All right. You can say what you want about them. Again, you can have your own opinion, but at the end of the day, I think a lot of it comes down to being trusted as a military member. So when you're trusted as a military member and someone understands the different challenges that you're dealing with, that frees you up to deal with a lot of other things that, maybe you do not want to deal with when you're going on to the battlefield. When you know someone has your back, that's huge. So Miranda, D-Stew moderating. Thank you, D-Stew. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping the discussion focused towards the Iran conflict. Means a lot. And then when I look at the different types of ships, when I look at what's left, these are the ones that she told you. These are basically, these little fast boats. Like this one these look like IRGC boats here. So these obviously look like naval boats. I mean, you can just basically see by the shape of those things. They're built for speed, not comfort. And if you look at like something like this, you got more of a fishing trawler. But the whole goal, like, look at these right next to each other. Oh yeah, these are just fishing boats as well. Just fishing boats, guys. Right? So they want everybody to think that these are civilian. But as you can see, there's some sort of, this almost looks like launchers on these boats here themselves as well. So again, you don't have special forces to go in and throw C4 on these boats. You got air assets that can do that. So when you think about striking the different, even the fast attack craft, you've got A-10s in the region, right? Like you've got A-10s, you've got F-15Es. We trained, and you guys have probably heard me say this before, but we trained constantly for strafing fast attack craft. So A-10s coming in, making sure that the A-10s knew, how to dovetail with us. A-10s had the lower block, F-15Es having the higher block. And really, it's about deconfliction at a certain point. You basically divide up the ocean. You would take this. Let's just take this as an example. You would take this little section. Let's say you were coming out to strafe. There was a 4-ship of A-10s. And this was your little AO right along the coast. And these are departing the area. You'd probably split this high traffic area right down the middle. So split this right here, right down the middle. That's split. And then split it this way as well. And then I'm literally drawing this out on my knee board as we're doing these operations. And then this is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, this is quadrant 3, this is quadrant 4. Does that make sense? And then what I would do is I would just turn loose different members of the formation. You can fly anywhere in your quadrant, and you're responsible for shooting anything in your quadrant, but you're going to call in with the direction to make sure everybody knows where you're at prior to rolling in. But you basically split the battle space into 4s. And if you have an 8-ship, then you can just split it into 8s. But you wouldn't want 8 aircraft in this small little chunk of sky right here. That's not what I'm getting at. But let me see if the super thanks are coming in. I'm going to go ahead and start a goal. Why not? I promise I'll give whatever we make to Sarah. Yeah, totally. Sarah just felt like a cold chill, like up her spine. She's like, did someone just say they were going to give me the super chats? Because she does a great job at this. But let's see. If we get this done, I'll plan a 2-hour live session. I don't know when it'll be, but if we get the 20 super chats tonight, I'll plan a 2-hour live stream. So there we go. Goal has been started. There's no Sarah to save from the streets tonight. She's already out on the streets, but in a good way. She's with family and friends, so she's not in Tehran, so that's always good. We got Tyrannical says, it's going to look terrible if the U.S. does all this posturing just to abandon the strait to its own fate. No idea what is going on. Could be intentional ambiguity. I hope that is what it is. Yeah, Skydog chimed in as well, the art of the deal. So I'm doing a podcast tomorrow. It's with Pierce Morgan. Pierce Morgan's team does some other stuff, some other podcasting, and it likely will be distributed throughout the UK. I'm assuming. I don't know 100% where it'll be distributed. But when I think of the rhetoric that's happening right now, the US, the Trump administration basically saying, hey, like Okay, yeah, I'm not buffering. Gotta check every now and then, make sure the internet stream is going strong. But when it comes to what President Trump has been saying, yeah, a lot of it, I think, Skydog, I think you got a decent point there. A lot of it is ambiguity that is on purpose. So if you have that ambiguity, you're kind of asking, it's kind of like giving someone an opportunity to step up. That's how I would think about it. So I would just give someone an opportunity, like, hey, here's your chance to step up, come help with the Straits of Hormuz, and whether you think it's in Europe's best interest or not, just the fact of supporting the US, it probably would be smart for them to at least give some sort of support just to keep the strength with the allies, the solidarity. Even when it comes to Russia, Russia seeing the solidarity with Europe and the US, I think that would go a long way. So that's just my thoughts on that, but that was a great question. I really appreciate that. Miranda writes, threw in a super thanks as well. You want that 2-hour live stream, I can tell. And then James Dudley says, if we've spent so much on the Suez Canal and we're spending so much on this war with dogs, why wouldn't we consider a UAE canal? Yeah, I mean, I think you bring up a good point. I think what this conflict does is it does show us that at some point we're going to have to, sorry, I'm looking over here. I'm checking to make sure that I'm plugged, hardwired in. Supposedly I have 1 gigabyte of upload and download. Yeah, supposedly. And I told them yesterday, the internet guys came and I'm like, look, I do streaming. I'm doing this full time now. And they're like, yeah. They're like, yeah, sure, buddy. Yeah. And I'm like, no, I run a business. We do live streaming. Like my girlfriend and I, this is what we do full time. And they literally looked at me like I was crazy. Like the guy was like, yeah. And then he's like, well, if you're watching Netflix and streaming, here's what you have plenty for Netflix. And I'm like, dude, yes, I watch Netflix every now and then. Like maybe they're tapped into my like internet, maybe they're watching, they're like, yeah, this guy, and someone in the house is watching Netflix and they think all we do is watch Netflix. But anyway, I had to explain to him like, hey dude, this isn't just Netflix watching. Nothing against that. I love it. I'm more of a YouTube guy. But he's like, yeah, okay, sure, buddy. He's like, yeah, dude, just stop lying to me. That's literally what's on his face. All right, anyway, that's a tangent. But let's go to the Suez Canal. Okay, we'll test my geography here. This is where I think the Suez Canal is. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's up here. So if I'm off, tell me. Like there's been one time where I've been off, one mistake that I've made as a fighter pilot. But here's the Suez. Okay, looks like I got it right. Let me double check with everybody. Someone's probably like, dude, are we really gonna have to teach this fighter pilot geography? Yeah, Paul says, don't make promises that are too hard to keep. My expectations are high on Max. Go Max Afterburner. Paul, thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. And D Stu, thank you again. I'm going to keep saying thanks because I really appreciate the moderators because you guys have to be dialed in. I just get to sit here and be the guy that just listens to himself talk and drinks tea. D Stu, Sarah, the moderators, they have to actually pay attention. So I really appreciate you guys. We got Detroit's Tiger fan, the UAE Canal. We'll get to that here in a second. But first, let's go ahead and just take a deeper dive, a deeper look at this exact area. So the Suez, obviously a bit of a Panama Canal type setup. Not bad. Let's see. How long of a distance is it? Can someone look up how long? D-Stu, can you look up how long, or anybody who gets there first, how long of a distance the Suez Canal is and what the UAE Canal would look like? Because I think you're onto something here. I think something like that would be good just for options, if nothing else. But again, I think the U.S. is playing some 4D chess here, trying to get Europe to step up. But ultimately, it's going to be at the end of the day, it's going to come down to what does Europe actually want, right? Are they like willing to go without the oil, or are they like, okay, like they're kind of like doing like the crackhead thing. They're like, yeah, that oil was nice. Yeah, hey, America, we're going to help out here. But what we likely have are vestiges of the IRGC that are in control of the the Straits of Hormuz, not the Suez Canal, that are in charge of the Straits of Hormuz, and they're getting a lot of cash. They're getting a lot of money as they, let some of the ships go through. So very interesting situation with a lot of the IRGC making sure that they're still getting paydays from China. But here we go. Suez Canal. Let's have a little bit more of a look. Let's see if something like this could apply to the UAE area. I mean, I don't see why not. Let's see. Let me see if someone got back to how big is the Suez, or how long is the Suez Canal. Let's see. Anybody throw that in there? Let's see. 120 miles long. These two, thank you very much. And then Darth Leon says, what do you think a Big Rubio destroys UN, United Nations? Big Rubio, yeah, he's making some moves, and I think they're just making pure statements. It is the art of the deal, but it is like, it's also at the same time, it's like, yeah, if you want the US to be there to support Ukraine, why not? Why not just pitch in and help? I mean, if nothing else, like the war is happening, right? The war is here. Again, you guys have heard me say, I don't celebrate the war, I celebrate the warrior, but the war is here. So if I was Europe, I was, okay, king, I was going to say king for a day, but too soon for the UK. If I was prime minister of Europe and I saw what was going on, I would, yeah, I'd be cautious. I mean, they have to be very cautious too with their population. They have to make sure, you know, they're crossing their T's, dotting their I's. And then I would ultimately step in and help America, because you want America to be there if things go down with Russia. You don't want that to be something where you're like, is the US going to step in and help? No, you want that to happen. And at this point, you probably understand that the regime, I mean, I think personally, like Starmer might have had some ties with some of the Ayatollah's inner circle, and I don't blame him for that necessarily. He's planning for the future, right? They had Majabta Khamenei come to the UK to do erectile dysfunction treatments, and they probably hobnobbed. That might be a bad analogy when we're talking about erectile dysfunction treatments for the Ayatollah's son. But they probably met and had discussions with Starmer, with some of these other guys to, you know, become friends, because Starmer is the prime minister of the UK, for those of you that don't know. And likely he's hedging his bets. He's like, well, I want to keep getting oil, so I need to make friends with this guy. So that's kind of what I see likely having played out. But again, when we look at the Suez Canal, you know, this is, if it's 120 miles long, this is not very far of a canal. I mean, I say that like it's easy to build. I could build this in a week. Just put a whole bunch of fighter pilots there. We'll build this thing in a week. But a very complex operation. It's kind of cool. You can actually see some of the ships going through. So just kind of looking at how this would go. Let's just do a little flyby through this, some target imagery study. This is pretty cool. And there's even a lake here, some paddle. You can stop by. Hey, you got $100 million of oil. Just stop by for a second, do some paddle boarding. Just enjoy yourself a little bit. It's the Suez Canal. Let's just enjoy it. And it's got 2 lanes, which is, they didn't have to do that. That's just very nice. I don't see a lot of the interlocks that you see like in the Panama Canal. So that's probably making this a lot less maintenance intensive. I don't think that's a lock. I think that's just something with the imagery shifting, because you can see it's like a line all the way across this whole thing here. So that's probably not a lock happening there. But when you kind of look and see, I mean, there's a little, they even have a little pull-off point right here. This is the paddleboarding area. There we go. So, I mean, they're like, we're going to build like a little cul-de-sac here. So you could live on the edge of the cul-de-sac and just drive an oil tank. Like the ship captain just built a mansion right there. That's probably the best way to go. Cut your commute down by a lot, my friend. But then when you see how this looks relatively, you know, solid. I mean, this looks like an amazing feat that this was made. Now let's pop to UAE. I'm just so proud of myself, guys, that I found the Suez Canal. Here we go. UAE, let's take a peek. I think we're in the right spot. Again, testing the fighter pilot geography. There it is. This is where I'm trying to go. Here we go. So here's the Straits of Hormuz. I mean, think about like just something that just came to mind for me. I mean, having a crazy dictator type regime in charge of the Suez Canal. I mean, that hasn't happened, right? That's not something that the world has tolerated. So just very interesting that everybody was just kind of cool with Iran doing what they did, saying death to America, death to Israel, and then letting them be in charge of all this energy flow, specifically to Europe. But I think Europe at this point, the backbone, not as much of a backbone as they've once had. And that, you know, that can happen when you get a little bit comfortable, life gets really easy. At a certain point, you know, the backbone's not there and you just deal, you're like, okay, well, it's not ideal that they're saying death to Israel and death to the US, but you know, they're not saying death to us. All they did was say that the UK military was a terrorist organization, and we can deal with that. And that's, you know, I'm literally like kind of thinking about how Starmer might be thinking of this. Is he's not seeing it as big of a threat, or he just knows that they really can't do anything about it. And at a certain point, when you don't think you can do anything about it, then you just have to kind of go with it, right? It's like if you're in a toxic relationship and then you're like, well, if you have the mindset of I can't do anything different, I can't do anything better, then you just stay. So I think Starmer was in a toxic relationship with Iran, is what I'm saying. And I think he needs counseling, couples counseling, and he needs to go back to Iran and make peace with the fact that they weren't a good relationship for him. You guys know what I'm getting at. But when it comes to the UAE canal, all right, so yeah, I mean, you could consider coming through this area right here, because we've talked before about a canal that would make its way all the way through Oman. That would be massive. I think that was 300 miles. I think that's what we decided, something like that. But yeah, if you just came through this area right here, UAE, let's see what's in the way. Let's see can we just like move some stuff? I mean, you've kind of got waterways already built through here right now. So if we look, and I know what you all are thinking. You're like, well, that's not really far enough away from the actual threats coming from Iran, because Iran has reached some oil tankers in this area here. Yeah, I get it. But let's just do this for kind of a thought experiment. So let's just say they were able to come through like some of like, this is already like a little bit of what is this? Like a little ship turnaround. UAE is like, yeah, we have too much money. We're just going to make a ship turnaround that happens and goes to nowhere. Now it probably goes underwater. It's probably some sort of a canal, goes underwater here is what I'm hoping. They do have a lot of cash though. They might just be like, well, actually, I wonder if it just comes, if the whole point of this being built was to come to this massive resort. I mean, this looks like a super cool resort. So at the end of the day, they could have just literally built it for the resort itself. That could be something that happened. Hey, more power to you. Like, that's pretty epic. I wish I could build that. And then let's see, what do we got over here? We got a race, come in, park your boats, and then racing and polo club. And you got a helipad there just in case you need that. But when it comes to actually coming in and making that a full canal, I mean, you could basically just pay a lot of money to this resort, use this, and then you have a one-way street. You might want to build a two-way street, but as it comes down through here, not a ton of infrastructure. And then you basically cut across the desert. As you guys can see, I'm also an engineer, just like what pulled in flight school. One of my favorite instructors, he handed me a pair of wings, I didn't have my wings yet. He showed me his wings and he was like, remember, once you get these wings, people are going to think you can solve everything in the Air Force, right? Because the Air Force has a leadership structure built around pilots. So he wasn't just saying that everyone would always listen to everything I have to say for the rest of my life, even though that's what my brain must have interpreted. I'm just kidding. Imagine. Yeah, I think it can get bad sometimes, but I think I'm a little more humble than that. What do you guys think? Actually, that's a loaded question. Don't answer that. Please don't answer that. But as you can see, the cut across, you go through the tennis, basically you go through where this tennis club, the polo match, and the helipad, go through the helipad area, and then you would go into Oman. So this would be Oman right here. And then you would make your way. I believe that's Oman. Let's see. Should be Oman. Let me double check. That might all, yeah. Okay, Oman's going to own this section right here. And then you take it through Oman, UAE, and then you'd spit yourself out right over here. There's probably a port type structure already built. What do they got? Yeah, so this would be kind of the port type structure. There's infrastructure there. I'm not saying this will be easy, right? I'm not saying, on Sunday, it's going to be like laying down a driveway. It's going to be like a concrete driveway. Or like Matt, the electrician that was here, Matt's probably like rolling his eyes, thinking of building something like this because he understands, how tough it would be. And those of you that watch the stream that are into construction, you guys probably understand how tough that would be. So totally get it there. But let's move a little bit more into some of the member questions before I go on. D-Stu, checking in with you. How's things going? Have you had to lay the smackdown? Let me know. 120 miles long is correct. Getting caught up in the chat. Christopher Moody, good to see you. Bruce Campbell, D-Stu in the house. Bruce Campbell, you're late, but you're here, so that's all that matters, my friend. Miranda writes, pilots and crew chiefs can accomplish anything. Yeah, it's true. And you got to have that mindset too. If you're going out there right now. Think about the men and women turning wrenches on the Strike Eagles, on the F-16s, F-22s, F-35s, making sure they are good to go. Like, this is game time on a whole new level. Insane game time level right now. Cool. We are at 6 of 20. We're not bad. We're not bad. That's for, if we get the 20 super chats in there, I will do a 2-hour live stream. Not sure if I should do that, but I'm going to give it a shot. It sounds fun. Very fun. Someone said, why are the steel factories targeted in Iran? Well, so one of the big reasons, guys, of what I see happening with the IRGC, because it's, okay, so some reports I'm seeing are actually showing it's 200,000 to 250. When I originally started researching Iran probably a month ago, the numbers I found were 150,000. So we don't, let's just say it's 200,000, right? For, you know, ease of just agreeing on that. And then Darth Leon, yeah, we talked about your super thanks. Appreciate that. Getting caught up. I'm going to get to your question. Don't worry about the steel factory. Let's see. Getting a 2-hour stream is nice, but I would like to know Sarah's take on the conflict with Iran. Here's some Japanese yen for her. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Sarah is currently off tonight. She is with family. She's at a concert, enjoying herself. I reluctantly gave her the night off. You know, what is this? She wants to have a personal life? No, I mean, she needs to do Max Afterburner 24/7, 365. I don't want her even sleeping anymore. I want her just streaming, and I want her moderating. Imagine. There's probably a boss out there like that somewhere, but no, I want her happy and rested and good to go. But I will have her answer that question on the next live stream, likely tomorrow night. She can give us her thoughts on what's going on. And then eventually we'll probably have a Sarah setup where we'll have the desk kind of oriented so you can see both of us, because we've been getting a lot of requests for that. That might be fun. That might be one of the streams we do if we get one of the super thanks goals. Cool. Thank you for that, Omar. That's very kind of you. And Japan is amazing. So Japanese yen, Chinese yuan. I think I got it right this time, but someone back me up there. Okay. Let's see. I actually applied for an exchange tour in Japan. Pretty bummed that I didn't get that. Video ideas. A-29 versus Shaheds. Oh, awesome. Ukraine adversaries say air defense crews flee when threats detected. THAAD radar destroyed in same place for 2 weeks. Do you agree? Okay, so this is more of an Iranian question, or sorry, a Ukrainian question. I like it. I think it's good that we talk about the Ukraine situation. And ultimately, when I think, actually, I'll get back to the steel. Don't let me forget the steel question. See, I get distracted like a squirrel. Ultimately, I think the Patriot system is very effective, but using a Patriot or a THAAD system against any Shahed-style drones is a bad idea, just for stockpile reasons and for the ability of these to be used on other types of assets and aircraft. And sometimes with those Shahed drones, you know, think about a Shahed that gets close, and now you've got a Patriot missile battery. Those things need to go up and out. They're not like going straight out. So honestly, teamed up with the Patriot, we need high-powered microwave technology. I'm really surprised that's not more outfitted throughout the world, especially in Ukraine. Companies like Epirus, companies basically doing the types of stuff that Anduril does, those need to be outfitted like yesterday. Those need to be like fully outfitted. So please, everybody in the stream, please write your congressman and say, we need anti-drone technology for the U.S. military, and Epirus and companies like Anduril should be fully outfitted in the U.S. Army, in the U.S. Navy, and that's where we should be putting a lot of our money, is anti-drone tech. So that's for the U.S. side. I think Ukraine should follow suit and do exactly what I just said. Just buy as much anti-drone technology as you can and don't use Patriots against the Shahed drones if you can help it. Philip Schreier gave €5. Philip, thank you so much, my friend. I'm going to be doing a podcast. It's connected to Piers Morgan's network. It's with his producer tomorrow. But I don't know if it's with Pierce, to be honest. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's starting another like podcast channel or not, but that'd be cool if he is. But either way, I'll be doing an hour-long podcast with that crew. So it should be a lot of fun. All right, back to the steel question. So for that, I want to pop to the map as well and just kind of talk about a few things I've seen. Literally, there's an IRGC training camp right here. This is interesting. And this will lead to the steel question that we just had discussed. So IRGC training camp, there's like jet skis. Like I'm expecting to see jet skis, a lot of fire pits for kumbaya moments. Probably the blob, that thing that you jump on and it shoots you into the water. Pretty sure the IRGC is just doing that most of the time for bonding, for their team building time. But no, that's the training camp right there. What do they have here at the training camp? Are these soccer goals? I think these literally are soccer goals. Yeah. So the IRGC, they're like, we're going to train, we're going to play soccer with AK-47s. But here's the thing also that I thought about with the steel. So when it comes down to what's actually going to break apart the inner workings of the regime, a lot of it is based on money, right? Because if you think of mafia style leadership, mafia boss type leadership, where you just kill and harvest your own people constantly, that's what they do. So what speaks to people like that? Well, power speaks to them, but money has to be attached to that, because power without money and resources isn't really power, is it? So a lot of these upper echelons of the IRGC, they are focused on the flow of money, and they're getting it from the different energy plants. They're getting it from energy that's being shipped to China with the oil that's being shipped to China. But one of the big things too is they're now basically in charge of the whole country. So you take out the Ayatollah class. I think what I've heard so far is there's like rumors that around 200 Ayatollahs, 200 mullahs have been taken out. Like 200 of the upper mullah type factions have been decimated. So with that, and I think there's 10,000 actually, there's 10,000 mullahs. So with that though, now you have to think about, okay, so who's going to step up and fill that void? Well, surprise, surprise, IRGC, right? Because they weren't technically in the leadership position before. But now that the mullahs are like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and we're going to wait this out a little bit while we figure out if he's just a cardboard cutout or if he's actually real, if he's still alive. We're going to take a step back. That's kind of what I'm seeing. And so ultimately, money is going to speak to who's ever in power. So whether it was the mullahs, whether it was the Ayatollah, but ultimately the IRGC is very swayed by money. I mean, again, my opinion, but when you think of mafia style boss mentality, they're going to be swayed by money. That's one of the main parts of the power system and structure when it comes to the IRGC. So with the steel factory, is a really good question. If you were to remove a source of income, a flow of income, and you systematically just keep doing that around the country, at some point, not that they're going to change, but they're going to come to the table and maybe be more of a part of some sort of transitional government than they would have before if they're just sitting around right now, getting 10 million a week from their steel factories. That's the upper echelons, right? And then that's going to filter down as they pay off everybody. There's a massive pyramid structure for the IRGC where you have that core group at the top. Let's say it's like 50 guys. Then that's going to flood down to 500 guys. And then those are going to be the upper middle level. And then that's going to fade down to 5,000 guys. That's like middle management. And then that's going to fade down into 50,000 of them. And that 50,000 is kind of like, I don't know, the lieutenants, I would say. And then the remaining like 50 to 100,000, that's going to be the foot soldiers, the people that are just, collecting a decent paycheck. But as soon as that all dries up, people have said the IRGC can't be a part of the transition. Well, there's 150,000 of them. Like, that's why I think surgical strikes, if you're, thinking high value targeting with special operations, cool. But anything beyond that, I think we're really getting into a bad position. So that's kind of what I would say there. We've got 3,000 people in the chat, looks like to me. That's epic. You guys are awesome. So IRGC training camps right there. If you cut off the flow, you cut off the money flowing to the IRGC, that's going to be a huge step towards getting that inner regime to crumble. We got to get that inner regime to crumble. That's one of the main things that's happening right now. But something else that I want to hint at is the fact that China's been said to be providing satellite imagery of US bases. Russia's being said to have been providing target telemetry data for the different Shahed drones. So why? Why are they doing that? Well, funny you should ask. China wants the oil, right? But they don't want necessarily a US-friendly regime in Iran, because it comes down to the two biggest guys on the playground, right? US and China. Okay, so if the US and China, I'm going to, so I don't forget, I'm going to pop back out to Tehran itself. I had some things I wanted to show you guys over here. But when it comes to China, ultimately, their whole goal, the biggest goal of China is to control rare earth minerals around the globe. That's what they want, right? That's a big point of leverage for them. So if they're controlling those rare earth minerals now, they also are getting a free flow, as much oil as they want from this area right here, from the IRGC. And the IRGC is getting paid off. They love it. China loves it because they're kind of a thorn in the side of the US, and they're more friendly to China than they are the US. So China doesn't care if they're going to shout death to America and death to Israel. As long as China's getting a ton of oil, they're like, all right, we're good to go. And that's just kind of, what is par for the course when it comes down to rare earth minerals versus oil. So it's the two big guys on the block, okay? So if you think that we went into Venezuela just for the drugs, I would disagree. That was a great benefit. That was a nice side benefit. But again, China getting tons of oil from Venezuela. I think they were the largest customer of the oil for Venezuela. So China ultimately is still winning. They're still getting a ton of oil. However, it could be cut off. Wow, we just got a super thanks from Seth Goldberg. Seth, thank you, man. You're so kind, dude. Really appreciate that. That's so kind of you. If you guys throw a super thanks in and we get to 20, I'll do a 2-hour live stream. So go ahead and throw that in. That'd be awesome. But ultimately, when it comes down to the oil flow in this area right here, this is the big thing, that if the U.S. can secure the strait, or just even have energy stop flowing, but stop flowing to China as well. It's still flowing to China, by the way. And we've seen 20 ships go through with who's ever in charge of Iran told President Trump that this was a sign of respect. So ultimately, when it comes to China and their ability to want this oil, to buy this oil, if the U.S. has some say in that with a more pro-U.S., let's say a trading partner, because the IRGC guys, here's another thought too. They care about money and power. I think some of them have bought the whole Ayatollah thing, hook, line, and sinker. Obviously, some of them are going to buy that. But ultimately, buying that was because the money was flowing, right? The Ayatollahs, the mullahs, they're like, hey, top generals in the IRGC, you guys are all going to make $500,000 a year now. And they're like, sweet. But now, and they're like, oh yeah, we're all in for Ayatollah Khomeini. Yeah, we totally believe in him. Yeah. He's definitely a god, right? And then the money stops, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, remember that that God comment we made? Well, yeah, we think that we're actually going to go a different direction, and what that direction could be is follow the flow of money, right? So the flow of money could be coming from a U.S. partnership where at some point the U.S. is going to buy some of this oil. Who knows? U.S. could save their oil, create a strategic reserve, and buy some of this oil. But ultimately, having a say in what goes down here, China doesn't want that, right? Because China wants to take Taiwan eventually, and they don't want the U.S. to be able to shut off the oil for that war. Because without the oil flowing out of the Straits of Hormuz, China doesn't take Taiwan. Like, if they didn't have the oil from Venezuela, they'd still be fine. But when it comes to the actual oil through the Straits of Hormuz, you basically do a soft shutdown of their war on Taiwan. So the biggest benefactor of this war is Taiwan. Do you guys see that? You know, there's been a lot of people saying, oh, Israel wants this war. It's all to benefit Israel. No, that's 2D chess. Thinking of like, oh, it's all Israel's fault. Oh, Israel's the whole reason why we're doing this. That's 2D chess. That's a talking point from some of the corporate media. No, the real reason is to keep China from taking Taiwan. Do you guys see it? Again, just my opinion, just my perspective. But if the U.S. controls this flow right here, big things could happen. Potentially pissing off Europe. Obviously, Europe's like, we're going to figure out a different way. Okay, that's fine. U.S. exiting NATO, that's probably the worst thing that could happen to Europe ever. So if I was Europe, I'd be on it. I'd be like, hey, what do you need? Like, actually, our military needs some real world training, and we need some real world ability, because I think the writing's on the wall that it's going to be a new regime coming into Iran, at least at least a different shade of gray. Let's just say that. It's not necessarily going to be black and white, in my opinion, but it will be a shade of gray where it'll be a much more friendly towards trading with Europe, trading with the US, with its Gulf partners. It'll be much more of a, hey, we want to be a part of this rather than we're just going to be those, those you-know-whats that are just going to send Shawhead drones into your country. Wes Downer gave a thumbs up for the 2-hour live stream. Thanks, brother. That means a lot. Appreciate that. Bruce Campbell said he's down for 2 hours, and he threw in a $20 super thanks. That's so kind, man. Really, how much time do we have left on the super thanks? Let me see if I can extend it, because you guys are giving me a ton. Let's see. Can I oh, we still got 13 minutes. Okay, we still got 13 minutes. Cool. So we still got a 13 minutes for a few more, 6 more super thanks to come in, and then I'll do a 2-hour live stream. And that just sounds like fun to me. But I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. And then we'll make sure Sarah's on that 2-hour live stream. She isn't going to skip the 2-hour one. You guys got to give her a hard time when she comes back too. Be like, oh, really, Sarah? You're having a personal life too? You should be eating, living, and breathing Max Afterburner. She might be tuning in and listening to this. Who knows? She might have created a different alter ego and she's just tuned in and listening. I mean, I wouldn't put it past her. She's pretty sneaky. NATO is nothing without the USA. That's from Thomas Kelch. Sunkissed Girl says, sorry, cat walked on my keyboard. I actually believe you. I think that's true. Is there a river waterway going northeast of the Straits? A canal from Kuwait to Syria? Well, let's take a peek. I don't think there is. Kuwait to Syria. Let's see. That'd be a long one. That'd be very large. But, I mean, that'd be sweet. That'd be amazing. Basically, if it could go all the way across Kuwait, I mean, that'd be huge. Let's see. What is that distance? I mean, because that'd be pretty cool to go right from the Suez Canal right over there. I mean, that'd be probably the biggest one in the world. But hey, who wouldn't like that? That'd be epic. That'd be so cool. I mean, it does bring up a good point. I mean, when you look at all these nations, how rich they are, just how rich Saudi Arabia is, just build the pipeline, guys. Like, just start building the pipeline now. It might take 3 years. But here's the problem. Here's what I see being the problem. They build the pipeline, takes 3 years. In 3 years, I fully believe the Strait will be completely open. There'll be a more friendly regime, a different shade of gray, though. Someone that you'll still have to keep a little bit of an eye on. But I think at some point, the writing's on the wall with a lot of this upper leadership. They're going to understand that the U.S. just isn't going to put up with the chance of death to America and death to Israel. It's like your neighbor down the street saying death to you, and then they bring in an RPG out of their truck. And you're like, wait, what? Like, yeah, this is weird. So ultimately, when it comes down to the straits, when it comes down to what could be built across here, I see potential, but I think once it was actually built, this is going to open up, and then they would lose money because they probably wouldn't be shipping as much through that actual pipeline. But maybe, I mean, maybe there's that's what they would have to game out, right? Is it possible to actually game out a canal that makes money even if the Straits of Hormuz is open? Again, go back to the finances. Go back to the finances. What I like to do, it's like a little trail. You start pulling that piece of yarn, and then all of a sudden, boom, you figure out, what's going to happen next. So, and then this happened. It's funny because people complain about those titles, but then we have a little setup where we can pick 3, and then it just chooses the best one that wins. And that one won like 5 titles in a row. It was like, and then this happened, then this happened, then this happened. And everyone's like, do you have any creativity whatsoever? And I'm like, no, I'm a fighter pilot. I'm like, no, a cat walked across my keyboard and it just typed out, and then this happened. But yeah, so we typically do A/B testing, but don't worry, we're going to change it up. We got some good stuff coming for you, coming your guys' way that I think you'll really enjoy. As far as creative topics, ways that we can report on things, ways that we can gather information. But that leads me to what video should we do tomorrow? And then there's a lot that's happened. Special operations assets en route to the region. Let's see. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little poll with you guys real quick. What video do you want to see tomorrow? Ultimately, when it comes to special operations forces, there's one aircraft that I would love to see in the area if special operators do, in fact, get called in to make it happen, to make it rain. And I'm going to add that as one of the options for you guys. Oh, we just hit 20. We just hit, oh, okay. All right. 2-hour live stream. Whoo! All right. Holy smokes. You guys are awesome. Wow. Okay. You guys crushed it. 20 super thanks. It looks like, I'm not saying it'll be the next one, but I will do a 2-hour one here in the next few days. It might be the next one. I mean, I would like it to be the next one. D Stu, we got a 2-hour live stream coming up at some point. All right. I'll get the voice ready for it. But thanks, guys. That's awesome. Really appreciate everybody that chimed in with a super thanks, because now I have to do the 2-hour live stream. And Philip Schreier just kept pumping them in. Philip, you are the man. You know, I can't tell you don't do that, because I really appreciate it. Miranda Wrights chimed in as well. Derek Disland chimed in. Are you familiar with the Embraer A29 ST? Is it good for the Shahed? The Embraer A29, is that, let me double check. Is that like the Super Tucano? I'm going to look it up right now, and then I'll share it with, well, I should be able to share it with everybody. Embraer A29. Okay. Super Tucano. Well, actually the Embraer 314 is a Super Tucano. I think it's the same thing, A29. So let's see. I want to show everybody this image because it's cool. So let me just pull everybody in to this, and we'll wish me luck. This live stream's been going great, but as soon as I change, okay, sharing and then share. Here we go. We are sharing the Super Tucano. So I'll wait till that updates. Looks like it's going to update. I feel like the internet's going pretty strong, but wish me luck. Nope. It went to a black screen. At least I have it pulled up this time so I can see when it goes to a black screen. All right. Should pull me back in here any second. All right. Oh, it just was on a delay. Okay. So it didn't pop up. It just, sometimes it takes like 5 seconds. So maybe I'll just wait. I'll actually have to be patient this time. Weird. Have to be patient. All right. Patience is a really hard thing for me, if you guys haven't noticed. But waiting. Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Not it. Oh, here we go. I know what I'll do. First, I'll wait for the stream to come back, but it should be coming back any second. Oh, wow. Yep, we should be good. There we go. All right, we're back. Well, looks like I can't actually do the A29 screen share. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look it up right here, and then I'll share it with you guys on my phone. A29, I actually put in for an assignment to fly this beast. What a cool aircraft. I think we should build a lot of these things. The Super Tucano could be a special operations aircraft. This is the ultimate drone killer. So when it comes to striking down Shahed drones, you can see there's a rocket pod on it. Here, let me pull it back into focus a little bit. Let me turn the screen up. Yeah, see that? So, and I'm watching myself. That's so weird, seeing myself on my phone. There we go. It's like one of those infinity walls. You just see it go on forever and ever. But the Super Tucano, to me, that is one of the coolest aircraft for Shahed drone strikes. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if I was, again, king for a day, sorry, Europe, okay? I don't mean it in an offensive way. If I was king, I'd buy 500 of these A29s for special operations forces, and there's a chance that I would even focus on flying them with contractors in combat zones, and at least they could be the instructors that could teach, different militaries. But I really feel like this would be a huge advantage, especially now seeing the different APKWS rockets. APKWS rockets on these things is next level capability. And I have friends that have gone over to Afghanistan. They actually trained some folks in Afghanistan on this thing. And so that's been done. And then obviously we pulled out, and I think we flew them to Iraq. So I think we ended up transferring them to Iraq. But they are Shahed drone monsters for sure. Okay, let me catch up with the super thanks real quick, and then I'll dive back into a little bit more target imagery. So Wes threw in the super thanks for the 2-hour live stream. Bruce Campbell threw it in for the 2-hour live stream. Just catching up with everybody here. Skydog USA, I love it. Skydog says China is having infighting in the streets as we speak. There are different things going on in 2 different provinces in China today. Very interesting. Okay, cool. Well, actually, the guy that's building my imagery for me, he's going to be building Chinese imagery as well. So I'll be reviewing Chinese military bases, Chinese missile sites, you name it. I'll be going through a lot of that on the live streams as well. And honestly, the live streams to me, I'll be honest with you guys, I love making videos for you. It's a lot of fun, but I enjoy the live streams more just because we can interact and chat and I can walk you through target imagery and things like that. Leona Harardi says, God bless America, land that I love. Thank you. That's so sweet. Appreciate that. Sunkiss Girl, American public education. Maybe she's talking about my geography knowledge. I don't know. Joseph says, last week a neighbor asked me if I was talking to myself and I said, no, I'm self-employed and we're having a staff meeting. Nice, dude. I see what you did there. It's actually pretty witty. Good job. D Stu is still just dominating as a stand-in for Sarah. D Stu, I'm sure Sarah is very appreciative of you being here and doing that. Thank you, my friend. Thomas Kelch, NATO is nothing without the U.S. Back to the Sunkissed Girl, catwalked on my keyboard. Yep, I'm going to use that one in the live streams if I need it. Darth Leon, is there a river waterway going northeast of the Straits? Cal from Kuwait to Syria. We talked about that one. Thank you for that question. And then let's see. Tonio Rivera, found your channel looking for info on B-21. After that, I watched all videos and never missed one since. Wow. That means a lot, my friend. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And I'm probably going to do a video on the actual launch for the moon, for the Artemis 2. I'm going to throw that in. I probably won't do it tomorrow. Maybe if you guys want to see me do a video on the moon launch. I mean, I want to cover the rockets, the propulsion systems, all the different nitty-gritty hardware specs of that rocket. It definitely interests me, so I'd love to make a video for you guys if that's something you want. But what video would you like tomorrow? I got distracted. I know what I was talking about. Let's see if it still saved it. Yes. Cool. AC-130J Ghost Rider is an aircraft that I think is awesome. Artemis 2, I think it's called the Artemis 2. It might be Artemis 3. I'm just going to say Artemis moon launch rocket, or I'll just say Artemis moon launch. Yeah, that'll be what I'll say. And then the next one will be Special Forces Unleashed in Iran. You guys answered this one yesterday. I had to change it up today because of the B-52 breaking news, but there we go. All right, starting that poll. You guys let me know what video you want to see tomorrow, and then I'll jump back into the chats. We were talking about, okay, wow, lots more super things coming in. You guys are awesome. Dang, you guys really want that 2-hour super thanks. All right. So we talked about the B-21. Wow. Dang, you guys are awesome. There's literally so many super thanks that's hard for me to keep track of. Seriously, thank you so much. Wow. All right. Cool. So when it comes to you watching the B-21 thing, that means a lot. I appreciate that. And I will do a lot more topics like that. Do you think Trump's address to the nation tomorrow means that he is declaring victory and leaving the theater of Iran? We can end the IRGC if we stay the course. We may not get another chance. Well, I think it's the art of the deal, and I'm hopeful that President Trump is fully about the art of the deal. I mean, for us to leave now, it doesn't secure the straits against China. So remember, this isn't just about Iran, in my opinion. I think if President Trump leaves now, he's leaving the door open for China to come in and take complete control of Iran because no military. So then China comes in and reassures their security, and now you've got an even bigger problem on your hands. I mean, look at what China did with Bagram. China went in, scooped up Bagram. They're like, don't mind if I do. We'll be taking this strategic, amazing chunk of a military base. China's like, yeah, we'll take Bagram with a side of Kabul, and then we'll also take your mining as well. We'll take all of your rare earth minerals, Afghanistan, since the U.S. isn't here. They're like, nummy, rare earth minerals. And then we'll go ahead and not employ anybody in your mines. That's literally part of their contracts. They said, hey, Afghanistan, we'll pay you a royalty as long as we don't have to hire anybody from your country. This is how many Afghans they hired into the mines in northern Afghanistan. So literally all that money just goes to the Taliban. The Taliban's like, Sweet. We don't know what to do with these stacks of gold bars. Oh, we'll just put them in the Black Hawk helicopters that we got from the U.S. when the U.S. pulled out and left everything here. Yeah. So you guys know I like to poke fun at this stuff, but I really hope Trump doesn't pull out at this point. But I also hope that we don't have a big, large ground invasion. So both of those things. And I think hopefully it's just kind of reassuring everybody of what's been done, an update so far on, how things have gone. But strategically pulling out right now, that would not be a 4D chess move. And the art of the deal, I think President Trump's got that down. Say what you want about President Trump. The guy is a master negotiator. Okay. I mean, when you're negotiating billions of dollars at the level he's done for that many years, your brain thinks very strategically. Okay. And I think he's one step ahead. And when I think of like the mullahs in Iran, or even like some of the European leaders with what Trump's doing, they're kind of like they're like, wait, you went this way. Wait, you went this way. It's like a snail trail, and everybody's behind him, and they're like, oh wait, we're doing what? We're doing what? We're doing what? And it's keeping everybody guessing. So whether you like him or not, look, I'm not saying you have to like him. You make up your own decision. I'm here to provide you with one perspective. You make your own decision. You guys are smart people. I will never tell you what to think politically. I won't. I'll tell you what I think, obviously, but ultimately I want to tell you the facts. I want to tell you the news. And then I want to apply leadership to that. But when I think of negotiation, getting military objectives complete, it's the art of the deal, man. It's like, all right, I'm going this way. No, I'm going this way. I'm going this way. And everyone, and like the IRGC and everyone's like, oh, what's going on? What's he doing now? Okay. Oh, we'll send 20 ships through the Strait of Hormuz. That's what the level of confusion is probably in the IRGC right now. Oh, he's blowing up our steel plants. Oh, we're going to hit a tanker in the Persian Gulf. And they're just like basically on the edge of a whip. So I'd be shocked if, President Trump says it's over tomorrow. Thanks for listening to my TED Talk. What do you think of the air tractor special ops plane? Well, I will not go to a picture of that. Actually, I'll go to a picture of that on my phone. Is it different from the A-29 special ops air tractor? I bet it's going to look cool. I think I've heard of this thing before. It kind of looks like a crop duster. Special ops air tractor. Oh, also I'm getting a new camera for the lives because right now I'm just using the studio display and I want to get a new camera. So I'm getting a new camera for you guys. Should be a much sharper image. Special ops air tractor, my friend. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, I would love one of these. Let's see, get a good picture for everybody to see. All right, here we go. Special ops air tractor. So it looks like the A-29, but honestly, it looks much more protected. And then there's this. You see this? My little finger's coming up. This little ball underneath it right there. That's a sensor ball. So that's a very highly tuned in avionics suite. Oh, what else does it have on it? Looks like some rocket pods as well. But yeah, very highly tuned in avionics suite. Yeah, it's basically like that Predator style avionic targeting pod, which is sick. I want one. I want one on my car. Just have it on the top of the car. Just sits up there, just like watching people as do you imagine like pull up to a stoplight and it's just like it's on top of your car. This is the other car. You pull up and it's like just like staring at the other car. The person and it's like, well, excuse me. You're like, oh, I was just were you texting? I could have sworn you were texting. I was just looking in your window to see if you were texting. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Anybody else? What do you think of the air tractor special ops? Wes, thank you for that, my friend. D-Stew, Seth, Wes, Sunkiss Girl. Yeah, it does look old school. I agree with you. Maybe we should call it the Sunkiss Girl. I think that would actually be a good name for this thing. You imagine this thing rolls in. They're like, what's overhead? It's the Sunkiss Girl. Yeah, it'd be kind of badass, actually. I like that. C4 Devin. Yeah, I go on tangents from time to time. My bad. Wes Downer, still not an A-10. Yeah, it's not an A-10. If we get rid of, can we please not get rid of the A-10? Can we please not get rid of the A-10? Someone, please write your congressmen, senators. If we get rid of the A-10, let's build the stealthy A-10. Check this out. I want to show you guys this. The stealth A-10. This has actually been pitched before. The Stealth A10. Yeah. This has been pitched. Right? We're going to get rid of the A10. Please. Someone please get us that. Okay. I think I covered everybody. D-Stu agrees. No getting rid of the A10. Absolutely. You guys are awesome. I think we had around 3,000 people in here at one point, and you guys are just amazing. I really appreciate everybody being in here. It means a lot. And we figured out the internet works, but we just can't switch screens. We need Google Fiber. Google Fiber is coming soon, supposedly, to where I live. So we'll just keep our fingers crossed for that. Appreciate everybody being here. Seriously means a lot. If you didn't watch today's video yet, pop over there, watch that. I'm doing that podcast tomorrow with Pierce Morgan's team. I think they're cool. I think they bring up different perspectives, different points of view. I'm excited for it. So I'll share that with you guys at some point. I'll probably share it on Instagram or X, honestly. But special thanks to D-Stu, all the members in the house. Really appreciate everybody being here. What a good time. I mean, just a super good time. So thank you, everybody. I couldn't be more grateful for you. And I will see you on the next one. Yeah, it's been fun. D-Stu, Paulie, wow. Kawhi Sniper, just okay. Hang on, you're just doing a super thanks. I'm not gonna leave you hanging, man. I'm not gonna just like end the. That'd be a dick move if I just ended the stream right as you throw in the super thanks. So, Kawhi Sniper says, Kawhi, I think I'm saying that right. Love your channel. My great grandfather was Reuben Fleet. He built over 18,000 B-24 bombers. Founder of Consolidate Aircraft. However, the 52 is my all-time fave. Just wanted to say thanks for all you do. Great stuff. Well, that's awesome, man. I hope you really loved today's video because it's a tribute. And honestly, what I do, I didn't check the what's one. Okay, Special Forces Unleashed in Iran. All right, I'm gonna do that one tomorrow. I might hit on the AC-130J a little bit, but I'll do the Special Forces one tomorrow because you guys have voted for it 2 days in a row. And Kawhi, I hope you love the B-52 video, man, because I like focusing on the current events that are going on, but I like highlighting a particular aircraft system because it's a tribute, man. It's literally a tribute to these incredible aircraft designed by amazing people that I want people to be able to go back to once this war is over and look and just understand what the B-52 did, understand what the B-1 did, understand what the F-22 did, and how epic these pilots are, avionics teams, how amazing everybody is that's involved in this. Like, it really is cool. Just like your great grandfather building B-24 bombers, man, that's really special. So thank you so much for that. Again, couldn't leave you hanging, couldn't end the stream right then. But we got 500 votes, or sorry, 435. That's a little bit of a stretch to call that 500, but 435 votes for the Special Forces Unleashed in Iran. So that's likely the video tomorrow, unless we get some wild breaking news. But everybody, thanks so much. We hit the 2-hour goal. So at some point, whether it's tomorrow or within the next week, I will do a 2-hour live stream. That's my promise to you. And could not be more grateful for you all. Seriously. Texas Flyer, I saw your comment in there. Thank you. You're far too kind. Thanks for that. I'm passionate about this. I love hanging out with you guys too. Honestly, if it was up to me, I would just purely do live streams, but I don't know how that would go with the YouTube algorithm. Hey, who knows? Maybe one day it's just pure live streams. But thanks, everybody. Leona, thank you so much. I saw you gave a super thanks too. You're so kind, seriously. Sergeant Major Thomas, D-Stu, great job moderating tonight. I could tell everybody was locked in. That's awesome. You did great. I'll tell Sarah. I'll give you good reports to Sarah. Don't worry. John Lamoth, Sunkissed Girl, C4 Devin. Everybody hang in there. We'll watch the president's address tomorrow, and then I'll likely react to it in the live stream tomorrow. So thanks for meeting the super thanks goal. You guys are very generous and kind. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. This is Ryan, also known as Max Afterburner, signing off. See you guys.